Under the transfer policy, there are enumerated reasons for which a losing registrar may deny a transfer request. First, a losing registrar may deny a transfer with evidence of fraud. Second, a losing registrar may deny a transfer if an arbitration complaint has been filed pursuant to the Uniform Domain Name Dispute Resolution Policy, or UDRP. We'll look at the UDRP in depth in another topic of this course. Third, a transfer may be denied pursuant to an order by a court of competent jurisdiction. Fourth, a transfer may be denied when there exists a reasonable dispute over the identity of either the domain's registered name holder or administrative contact. The fifth permissible basis for denying transfers under the transfer policy involves certain registered name holder payment disputes. Specifically, transfers may be denied only if the registered name holder failed to pay for a prior registration period, or, provided the name is not in an auto-renewal grace period, the current registration period. This provision of the transfer policy can apply to situations where the registered name holder simply did not pay its registration fees, or initiated a credit card chargeback for the registration service. In all cases, however, the losing registrar must have placed the registration in registrar hold or client hold status before the transfer was denied. Sixth, a losing registrar may deny a transfer if the authorized transfer contact expressly objects to the transfer. The authorized transfer contact can specifically object to a specific transfer request or generally object to all transfer requests either temporarily or indefinitely. The transfer contact could object to a transfer through either paper or electronic means. In all cases, the objection must be provided with the express and informed consent of the authorized transfer contact on an opt-in basis. Upon request by the authorized transfer contact, the registrar must remove the lock or provide a reasonably accessible method for the authorized transfer contact to remove the lock within 5 calendar days. Seventh, a transfer may be denied if the transfer was requested within 60 days of the date the domain name was created in the registry. Eighth, a losing registrar may deny a transfer request when the request was made within 60 days after the domain name was previously transferred from another registrar. Note, however, that there is an exception to this rule. A losing registrar may not deny a transfer request within 60 days of a transfer back to the losing registrar in a case where both registrars agreed to the retransfer or where a decision in a transfer dispute case so directed. Put another way, a transfer cannot be denied solely because it occurs within 60 days of the reversal of an improper transfer. The transfer policy describes some situations where a losing registrar is prohibited from denying a requested transfer. For example, a losing registrar cannot deny a transfer request because the transfer contact has not paid for a pending or future registration period. A losing registrar cannot deny a transfer because either the registered name holder or administrative contact failed to respond to a communication from the losing registrar. A losing registrar cannot deny a transfer request solely because it believes the gaining registrar did not obtain the FOA authorization from the transfer contact. A losing registrar cannot deny a transfer request because the domain name is in registrar lock status, unless the registered name holder is provided with a reasonable opportunity and ability to unlock the domain name before the transfer request. A losing registrar cannot deny a transfer request because of domain name registration period time constraints, other than during the first 60 days of initial registration or during the first 60 days after a registrar transfer. By way of example, a losing registrar cannot deny a transfer because the registration is due to expire within some amount of time or because the registration was recently renewed. A losing registrar cannot deny a transfer request because of a payment default between the registrar and its reseller, business partner, or affiliate in cases where the registered name holder for the domain in question has paid for the registration. It's important to note that situations in which the losing registrar is not allowed to deny a transfer request are not limited to these specific examples. Transfers may only be denied for the enumerated reasons we looked at previously.